Yo, what's happening? This is Apex 3900 back with a special edition. Special in the event that I had to respond. I gotta respond to somebody because I heard some things that kind of got me upset earlier today, and it could have just been a misunderstanding. Who knows? Who knows? But was it really a misunderstanding? My intellectual properties finessed. What do I mean by this? I analogize myself as like the greatest underground rapper or the greatest rapper that nobody's heard of, that the mainstream audience hasn't heard of. But all the mainstream artists know who I am. And they come and bite little rhymes from me and shit. And they can get away with the shit because don't nobody know me. Or it'll be tantamount to an underground comedian who's doing stand-up. Then a big dog comedian comes to where he's performing at and takes his routine. Niggas been doing that shit with me for years. And I've been chilling because I just been like, okay, this is for the space. This is for the space. I'm just going to bring forth my intellectual properties and just allow people, people are going to do what they're going to do. But nigga, you got to shout me out, bruh. And Pablo, you're college educated. This is English 101, English 102. You cite your work. You cite your work. You could have just, all you had to say, brother, was, several years ago, I heard Benjamin D'Souza make a video introducing this concept, because I was the first one to introduce the term and the concept finesse culture. It's not enough that you actually took the title finesse culture. You took my concepts word for word. And I ain't want to, kind of bust you out there in Bernard Riley's chat, but I just put it out there like, nigga, that kind of sound like some shit Benjamin D'Souza said a few years back. Then I go through my catalog and sure enough, 4 years ago, finesse culture. Now on your panel, I'm on your chat, I'm on your page right now. You done kind of tried to switch it up a bit and say how finesse / game culture fueled the rise of, you know what? I might make a part 2 to this. I'm not gonna play, this ain't a game stream. I'm just using this as a backdrop to interface on my live stream. I don't feel like getting my laptop out. This is a whole lot easier. Turn the game on, put the title, got the headphones in, boop, bam, I'm there. But before we get started, let me do something real quick. And yeah, this isn't the first time that I've heard somebody take my stuff. Much respect due to the late Kevin Samuels, but he took some of my shit in the past. And I was in his chat because I came up with the concept slaying the dragon. I'm like, us men, we have to go out here and slay the dragon, and the princess that we got waiting for us is X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna have to go back and just start reviewing all my old shit. Cause now I got a sub to Pablo and go through his catalog to see, well, how much, cause I'm sub to him on my other channel, but this channel I'm not sub to him on. I'm primarily on this channel. So I don't get his stuff like that. So I'm like, now I gotta get the digging in his crates to see, all right, nigga, you done took some shit that I came up with 4 years ago. Which was pretty slick because you like, oh, that shit's old. Niggas done probably forgot about it. Woo-win. He ain't even got that many views on it anyway. He only got like 20-something views on that motherfucker. Yeah, it's been other people, other big-time YouTubers too that's done taking my shit. I'm not gonna go into what. I'm not gonna... You know what? I should just do an expose. Just go back and just start pinning thumbtacks on walls with string to it. and just be like, okay, this YouTuber took this here, this is what they said, fair use, and then go back and face that against the concept that I came up with. I'm thinking about doing that. Cause this shit is getting ridiculous. Niggas can't even shout me out. Like, all you gotta do is just say, man, I heard this from Benjamin D'Souza. I would like to, this is what he said about it. I would like to add my 2 cents to it, give my take on it, give my spin on it, But you just gon'. And the irony of it is that the concept of finesse culture, you seen it live in action. He literally tried to finesse me out of my intellectual properties, out of my concepts. So the same thing that he's railing against, he's engaging in. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. But let's go, let's have a gander, shall we? Because, hold on, let me see if Bernard took that stream down. Something told me he took that shit down. And I ain't been on Bernard's in a minute, because Bernard, I'm like 6 hours ahead of Bernard. So by the time Bernard is on, I'm at PT, and then after PT, I really can't. He still left it up. It don't matter, because I screen clipped that segment. I thought he was going to pull it down, because sometimes he pull that shit down and make it for members and shit. So I ain't been tapped in with Bernard shit in a minute, just because of the time shit. And then when I do get off, other live streams will be on, and I'm just like, fuck it. Hold on real quick. Let me do something. Yeah, we about to get to it here in a minute. We about to get to it. And I know my shit when I hear it. I'm gonna start calling motherfuckers out. Cause I be dropping jewels in the space, and then niggas don't want to fuck with me, but they want to take my shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas want to take my cadences and take my rhymes and take my flow and shit. I'm like, oh, niggas, God, niggas, I swear. The irony. Talking about finesse culture, and you try to finesse me out my intellectual property. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a bitch? Hold on. Give me some of this. And I wouldn't have been so upset about it had he not said something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way following that, after I posted what I posted in the chat. I know you tied in, Pablo. I know. I'm already knowing. But that don't mean I can't correct you when you on some. Anyway, let's get to the clip. Fair use. Fair use.
More or less what I was getting at in my opening spew, but go ahead, Pablo, you got it.
Yeah, so just a few days ago, and Azrael may have been over there on my show, I did a show about the finesse culture in Black America.
Now, just notice his cadence and how his voice is kind of cracking, and he's stammering a little bit. He's kind of stuttering because he knows he's engaging in some fuck shit right now, because he's stealing my shit. He's stealing my shit. This is my shit. He knows what he's doing. But just listen to the tone of his voice. And I just so happened, because I didn't have to do PT this morning, because I had some other shit going on. So I get back to the bees, and I get back to my room, and I see Bernard's on, and he's got a title that's kind of similar to a topic that Dennis Sperling did the other day. And Dennis Sperling's live stream that he did on paternity fraud was very informative to me. So I was like, let me see what Bernard got to say about this. So I hopped on, and I just so happened to hop in at this time. God is good, ain't he? God is good. Fair use, continuing.
a lot of what you're seeing
Great show.
is also about the finesse culture that goes on in Black America. And it doesn't just go on with women and their quote unquote finesse. Gang culture is also a part of finesse culture, meaning we have a subculture of people who want to get as much as possible as they can from others while investing as little as possible in the process.
Mm-hmm.
That is the culture that exists in the subculture that exists in Black America today. The women want to get as many free meals, shopping sprees, cushy lives, Birkin bags, Louis bags as they can get from a nigga, while at the same time providing as little cooperation, sexual favors, kindness, any of the above things that men would like to have. Yes, you want to come in at the 5 foot.
Now, mind you, I've said all of this. This is my shit. This is essentially my shit. He's essentially taking my entire... He's copying my paper word for word, damn near. And we about to get to it in a minute. We about to get it going, but fair use.
And 250 pounds for the pleasure. So when you have that kind of, and then you got brothers on the other hand, they wanna, oh, no, I'm gonna game her up. I'm gonna bust. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna give her nothing. Hard dick and bubble gum.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Let's not lie to ourselves. That is the modus operandi of a large swath of both Black men and Black women.
All right. Now you heard that. So there's that. Let's get to, now hold on. This particular live stream was just completed 3 hours ago. So as of September the 21st, 2022. And Pablo said he made a stream about finesse culture 4 days ago. Okay, so that would be September the 17th. Okay, too easy. Too easy. Now this right here, it is hold on. Let me go ahead. Let me put this in the comment section. Hold up. This is the original. This is the original. Let me pin this comment. So when you see this on the replay, you can go straight to it. And I'm gonna put it in the comment section too afterwards. Shit, I might just put this motherfucker in. Anyway, let's get to it. Fair use on my own shit, by the way. Benjamin D'Souza with the skunt. I know it's been a while, but got a few subjects I want to talk about. But one subject, mind you, this was 4 years ago. This was circa 2018. 4 years ago. That I want to talk about in particular, that is really prevalent in the Black community. And I see it as a major problem, especially amongst Black men. I expect this type of behavior from Black women. But us as men, we need to hold ourselves to a higher standard. And this type of behavior is the whole finessing culture. Wow, what do you know? Continuing. And I see this shit in all walks of life. I've been seeing it since I reached my adulthood in the early 2000s all the way up until now. And my thing is, if you're trying to get over on any and everybody that you come in contact with, even on the most insignificant and minuscule things, then you're not gonna be able to be trusted on major shit. And that poses a problem, especially when you're talking about business endeavors and, you know, making investments and whatnot. If you can't trust your next man on some minor shit, you're definitely not gonna be able to trust him on some major shit. And what really got my goat to do this video is it was Friday night or whatever, and it was payday at the job. And how they do it is, you know, they wheel out a big ass, you know, file cabinet with everybody's checks in alphabetical order according to your last name, you know. And so everybody gets in line or whatever to get their checks. And it's like 2 people working the station passing out checks. You go to the station, tell them what your last name is. They go to the letter what your last name is, thumb through it, find your name, you get your check, whoop wham, you out. Now I get in line, and I'm patient, waiting for my turn to collect my check so I can go get the fuck up out of there and go home. You know, like a civilized human being and whatnot. So I'm chilling. It's a chick in front of me, and in front of her is a younger brother. You know, younger brother, probably late teens, early 20s. And I know him because I worked with his uncle. His uncle worked there probably about a couple years or so before he started working there. So I built up a good rapport with both of his uncles that worked there. And so when he came, I'm like, yo, you related to such and such, and you know, we are cool by proxy like that. But we're chilling in line. And these 2 guys come up right beside him, one to the left of him, one to the right of him. And they come up there striking up a conversation and whatnot. Now this is a line, mind you. This is a line. And they're sitting there talking, but the way that their body language is, they're settling in, just going along with the flow of the line, like this is their place in line. Finesse culture 101. They just gotta get over, you know, men and women. It doesn't matter if it's the pettiest shit. If they feel like they got over on you, that's like them winning a goddamn Super Bowl. You get what I'm saying? It's like, bruh, you just finessed me out of a simple spot in line. You probably saved yourself 5 minutes. You could have fell in line in your proper place in line and just waited an additional 5, maybe 10 minutes to get your check. But you just got to get over on somebody. Finesse culture. Continuing. So one of the gentlemen to his right, looked like a Latino guy or whatever. I say, yo, my man in the Nautica hat. He turns around. I say, hey, the line's back there. And the guy in the middle, which whom I know, he said, oh, no, it's cool. He said, no, man, we was just talking. I'm like, all right, okay. All right. Now, if you facing north and you talking to somebody, they're going to be facing southwest or south or due southwest. And if it's another person to your left and he's talking to you, he's going to be facing south or due southeast. All y'all motherfuckers is facing in the same direction. Like, come on. And one of the supervisors, an older white gentleman, he's probably in his early 40s or whatnot. He knows me. I've been working with him for a few years now. Me and him and built up a rapport and whatnot, and you know, we kind of relate on a few subjects. Him being from rural Missouri and whatnot, and my folk being from rural Arkansas. We kind of relate on certain things like fishing, hunting, and cleaning. We have conversations about cleaning fish and dressing. Stick with me here. I know it's a long story, but I'm getting somewhere. I'm getting somewhere. This was 4 years ago. I've gotten better and more succinct in delivering my message, but I just thought that this particular story at that point in time was indicative of the finesse culture. And we're like 5.5 minutes into a 25 minute video, and I'm probably I haven't listened to this. I don't like listening to my old work. Like, once I put it out there, I don't re-listen to my shit. So I don't know. I'm an artist. I'm kind of, that's just how I am. I listen to it, I'm like, that's old, But anyway, let's keep it moving. Game and whatnot and all that other stuff. So he say to the gentleman, he say to one of the guys, he said, hey, you, such and such, you got direct deposit. What are you doing in the line for the checks? If you got direct deposit, if you ain't in the line for the checks, get out the line. Now, it's 250, 300 people to work there. He know good goddamn well he don't know if that man got direct deposit. He just seen a situation that was about to bubble, and he tried to de-escalate and say that young man's ass. I was about to get on him. Yeah, because I'm telling you, I don't like that shit. I get very confrontational about that shit. That's one of the issues I have here on base with the DFAC, because they do that same shit at the DFAC, and going through the DFAC line takes for fucking ever. And I can always tell when a motherfucker trying to finesse, and this shit happened, the same shit right here happened to me a few weeks ago, a couple times. And it, dude walking up, guys in front of me, flag him down like, hey, come here. Hey, what's up? Woo wham. And then they'll just spark up a conversation and he'll just blend into the line. I asked the dude straight out, I said, you trying to cut? He was like, no, we just having a conversation. I just said, okay, well then I walked in and got in front of him. And he did that shit because it was 2 black dudes and a Latino dude that pulled up, but they was with 2 females, and they was trying to impress the females. So I'm like, nigga, if you want to fight about this shit, I'm going to up the ante. I'm going to just cut you and disrespect you. And if you want to have something to say about that, then nigga, we can bump. We can fight. You know what I'm saying? That's how I handle that shit. I see you're finesse, and I raise you a potential violent altercation. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit really pisses me off. But anyway, continuing. But anyway, now the point to that story is, and I did get into a fight with a nigga back in AIT over that same shit. Put hands all across his goddamn head for that same shit. Except he wasn't trying to cut me. He was trying to cut my battle buddy that was behind me, this little Asian chick that I was in the class with. And he just slid in and tried to cut her and shit. And I'm like, hey, you trying to cut my battle? And then she spoke up and was like, yeah, you trying to cut me? Shit went left from there. I'm like, all right, nigga, well, check this out. I'm in building 18. What building you in? Say less. I'll be over there when the day's over with. At them 2 young men just done right and just played it square up, they would have saved themselves some time, because while they was, trying to finesse and finagle and wiggle their way in the line and trying to cut everybody, the line behind us was getting bigger. You know what I mean? And then when I called their ass out, now they got to get in the back of the line where the line is even bigger than what it would have been had they just gotten the line. Exactly. Had they just fell in line, sucked it up, they'd have had a stable spot in line. They wouldn't have got their shit before me, but they'd have definitely got their shit before the few dozen other people that filled in the line behind them. You get what I'm saying? Or behind us. Now they got to get out of this line and take their ass to the back. If you just play the shit fair and square from the start, bruh, cheaters never prosper. Let's continue. And they just would have swallowed their pride and just hopped their ass in line when they should have hopped their ass in line. But we as black folks, black men in particular, we have this culture about us, this whole finessing culture and whatnot. And it's bad for business all around. You know, have even scales when you're conducting business. Make sure you got honest scales when you're conducting business. Don't fudge the numbers. Do square business. You know what I mean? And another gentleman at that same job that I'm working at was telling me about a female of his who sells things, and she sells it by the gram and whatnot. This, that, and the third. You get what I'm saying? And she skimps certain customers, you know, 0.5 gram, 0.4, 0.3, 0.6 grams and whatnot. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know. There's no need to belabor that. But anyway, continuing. And, you know, she thinks that she's getting over because it's the thrill of the finesse. Black folks, we done fell in love with the thrill of finesse. And it's not even about the 0.5 that she's saving. It's not even about the point whatever gram that she's skimming motherfuckers that she say. It's not even about that. It's about, just like I just said, it's about the thrill of the finesse. It's like, oh, I finessed you. I got over on you. That's all it's about. It's not even about getting, for those two gentlemen that I was talking about, it's not even about getting in line to get your check. It's about getting over on me and getting over on everybody behind me. It's the sense of I got over. Continuing. You know, he was telling me how she does her customers and whatnot, and I was telling him, like, listen, yeah, she might cut corners here and there and get a few extra bucks per, you know, transaction here and there. But when that customer realized that she done skimped him, point whatever, he's not gonna want to do business with her no more. Exactly. It's why I don't do drugs. My homie, shout out to my homie Punter, man. He rest in peace. I remember we was in my homie Turtle's basement playing video games, and Punter came over there to buy a sack, and they was haggling about the shit. And Punter was like, man, doing business with niggas in hoodies and do-rags, man. And I'm looking at my homie Turtle, and he's got a hoodie on with a do-rag on. And I looked, and I just started laughing. I was like, yeah, doing business with niggas in hoodies and do-rags, man. It's not good. That's why I don't do drugs, man. I don't do business with niggas in hoodies and do-rags, bro. I don't do that. But continuing. And it's not like she can take an ad out in the newspaper to advertise her business, if you catch my drift. So when work. But yeah, like I'm saying right here, when you do that, because eventually somebody's gonna wise up. They're gonna get their own digi-scale, they're gonna take that shit home and look and weigh it before they even get off in it. They be like, man, this bitch pinched my sack. And then word gonna get around, and you gonna slowly but surely lose clientele. You know what I'm saying? That's just business 101. You get a motherfucker, like, for instance, it's this little Mexican food truck here on base. I went to this place, and I walked by this one particular Mexican gentleman, and he got a plate from this spot. And I look at it, and I'm like, damn, that motherfucker look good as hell. I'm like, how much is that? He was like, it's X amount of dollars. I said, where you get it from? He pointed it to the food truck. So I was like, cool, I'm gonna get that exact same thing. I go to that motherfucker, pay for it, get it. I open it, expecting to see the same thing that this Mexican gentleman got from this Mexican spot. Don't you know, it was like half of the month. They skipped the shit out of me. I'm like, this don't look like the same. He told me what kind of burrito this was. This ain't the same burrito he got. I never went back to that motherfucker. Never. And if anybody asks me about it, I'm going to tell them, don't go there. They'll skimp you. Don't fuck with them. And another thing, it's a Puerto Rican food truck here. And I came to it one day because I wanted to try some Puerto Rican food. Now, it's 3 black soldiers out there, right? And they say, oh, no, we don't have no more beef and chicken. We just got pork. I'm like, and something inside of me was like, this bitch lying. She got beef and chicken back there. She just waiting to serve her Borican brothers and sisters the beef and chicken, but she gonna serve us the pork. I said, you know what? Nah, I'm good. I'll go to Burger King and just grab me a burger. And I'll never eat there again. Now, I could have been wrong, but my spider senses was tingling. I'm like, she trying to finesse me. She trying to push the pork off on the Negroes and then say the other shit for her people. Nah. And if anybody asks me about it, I'm going to tell them how I feel about it. I'm going to tell them my experience. I might not, because I technically, she could have been telling the truth. But I got a gut feeling she wasn't. But anyway, continuing. Get out, her shit coming up short. Motherfuckers ain't going to want to spend money with her. You know what I mean? It's like this one gentleman that I worked for close about 10 years ago. He told me something that really resonated with me. He said, never cut corners. Never. Now, that was, damn, them comments jumped up. Hold on real quick. Let me see, check, because I ain't even got my comment section. I ain't got my stream up. Hold on real quick. What up, Sugar Bum? You just up here talking shit. I mean, some of them be trying to get over it. Never cut. But anyway, yeah, I worked for a landscaping company. This was back when I was homeless at one point in time, and I was working at Labor Ready, which is like a temporary labor service, and basically I was just getting paid $40 a day. We'd go there, they'd task us out, and I got in good with this guy. He had a cool little estate on the south side of Kansas City, and I did a lot of landscaping for him because, you know, he requested me or whatever. And he told me, he said, never cut corners. Never cut corners. And that always stuck with me, you know, because when you cut corners in business, you're going to have to double back and fix that shit. If you do it right the first time, you ain't got to go back and fix it. You know what I mean? It's essentially measure twice, cut once. But anyway, let's continue. Corners. And I always kept that in the back of my mind. Never cut corners. Do that shit right the first time. It's like something that my father told me. Measure twice, cut once. You know what I mean? See, I haven't even listened to this. But I'm just us in Blackistan, we wanna cut corners and we wanna finesse just to brag about we finessed or we got over on somebody. On something as petty and as trivial as a spot in line. Another story. This was probably about, maybe a little over 10 years ago. Probably about 10, 11, 12 years ago. I was in my early 20s. And I was staying on the east side. And for those familiar with Kansas City, it's the Church's Chicken off of 23rd Street in Van Brunt. Anybody who listening who's from Kansas City, you know the Church's Chicken that I'm talking about. Right there off of 23rd and Van Brunt. You know what I mean? Anyway, I pull up. I go inside. I'm trying to get me a 2-piece and a biscuit. You feel me? So it's a couple of white dudes in front of me. Now these is like, you know the east side or whatever. It's predominantly black, but you know what? We're gonna cause dude looked like he was in his early. Let me skip that story. Like as soon as they get done ordering, like he about to order that line, but he ain't cross it. When I said some shit could potentially crack off, I'm done talking. Hit this nigga in his motherfucker. And he know he was wrong. But anyway, I'm 21, 22 years old, and here you are in your early to mid 40s, and you acting like this is goddamn elementary school. You know what I mean? Hold on. However they can. And I'm like, damn, nigga, this nigga gotta be like in his 50s now. This nigga's a baby boomer. I'm like, bro. Hold up. It's not an upscale kind of area. It's more of a bohemian, hippie / LGBT area. You know, a lot of the new wave motherfuckers, you know, you got a lot of tattoo shops and new age spiritual shops down there, and you know, that's Westport. It's a very chic part of town. Talking about Westport. A lot of eclectic and eccentric motherfuckers go down there. But it's got a solid, long-standing club scene. Yes, anyway, Westport. Clubs in Kansas City let out about round 3. Down the main street, I think it's Jefferson, if I'm not mistaken. It's either Jefferson or Broadway. I want to say Jefferson or 39. Hold on. Because I'm just telling stories at this point. This big cross yonder. I really don't know you, but did the 40-year-old dude try to pull? Hold up. What made you King Tut, nigga? That you can just hop in line. And who made me the mark for you to say, oh, yeah, that nigga right there. You ain't got enough discipline. Hold up, let me see. Horseback and shit. Nigga, don't make me bust you in your shit. Hold up. Upside down, you know what I'm saying, on the main strip. And we got police on horseback and shit. Nigga, don't make me bust you in your shit. Like, just get your ass in line. You ain't got enough discipline to wait an extra 10 minutes in line to get your gyro. Hey, who the fuck made you King Tut, nigga? That you can just hop in line. And who made me the mark for you to say, oh yeah, that nigga right there. I'm about to try to finesse and sneak in line on him. Yeah, this was at Westport, and the clubs let out, and my homies was coming out the club, and I'm by myself at this particular point, right? And I go to get a gyro, and the same thing. It's a white dude in front of me, and this black dude comes up and starts talking to the white dude like, hey, what's up, Brad? And the white dude looking at him like, nigga, I don't know you. So I called him out like, G, bro, get in line, G. Like, don't even pull this shit. And he tried to say something slick, and I'm just like, nigga, I'm not having it, bro. At this point, I'm done talking. Like, we can get the thumping right here and tussling over a spot in line over gyros, or you can get your bitch ass in line. Or you can get the fuck on and take your ass around the corner and go to Centero's and get you some pizza or Pizzone. Or you can go around the corner and go to Poncho's and get a burrito. But nigga, this shit right here, like, don't do this shit, G. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cops on horseback, like, nigga, I'll thump you right here, we'll both go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So he said his little shit and walked off, just like the old nigga at Church's Chicken. He said his little shit and walked off. But like, why would you even try that, bruh? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is, and see, what I've noticed is that, you know what? Let me not go there. But this how nigga moments start. Just petty shit like this over a spot in line. He could have waited an extra 10 minutes to get his gyro, but he wanted to feel as if he got over on me for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? And that shit could have went bad. It could have went bad to where if he had a weapon, if I had a weapon, or if we got to tussling and then my homie showed up and his homie showed, like, the shit could have went bad. Like, we could have spent the night in Jackson County. You feel me? All over what? All over what? Dumb. Finesse culture. This is what. And I haven't even got to the other part.
Damn, like, nigga, what? And what really pissed me off is I'm like, I know I could whoop this nigga. I know I could whoop him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 6 feet, 200, 205, solid, in shape. This old 5'7", 5'8", old husky, pudgy motherfucker. I'm like, bro,
Yo, that shit be blowing me, bruh. That shit be blowing me. I remember this dude because he was like a caramel complected nigga. He had glasses on too. And he was husky and short. I'm like, nigga, you don't stand a chance, bruh. Like, I got 20/20 vision, bruh. Still to this day, I'm in my late 30s pushing 40. I don't need glasses, bro. I can see excellent. All praises due to God. I'm like, nigga, I slapped them glasses off your face. You're done. You're not gonna see these motherfuckers coming. It's late. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I know you've been drinking. You know what I'm saying? Your vision probably blurry already. You know what I mean? I knocked them glasses off your face. You getting an ass whooping, bruh. You getting an ass. Oh, you can't hit a man with glasses. Bullshit. Bullshit. Hold on. Let's keep it moving.
I'm like, I know I could whoop this nigga. But it's just the thrill of the finesse. It's just the thrill of the finesse. Motherfuckers, it's not even about the other two dudes trying to get their check.
All right, at this point, I'm just going back and forth. But I think I've made my point. Even though I didn't talk about, I'm pretty sure I got something else. As it pertains. Hold on, I'm going through my old catalog right now. I'm pretty sure. But in any event, all right, okay, so now I'm not too mad at Pablo.
But in any,
I'm not too mad, but nigga, still. You took my shit. And you could have at least gave me credit for it. But anyway, I'm about to shut it down, man. My lunch break almost over, man. I'ma holler at y'all later, man. Oh. Yeah, I'ma holler at y'all later. Peace.